Alright, so nowadays, most of the movies that are successful are high concept films. Red One is an example of high concept film. Avatar is another example. Superhero movies are another example. And the reason, I don't know, it's still amazing how these movies still manage to succeed even though they're bad. And audiences know it's bad, but it's still entertaining because it's like mindless action. It's like the same thing as a Mr. Beast video. Since a high concept movie is watched by so many people, that also gives them a conception that these are the type of movies that people should make. Young filmmakers watch these movies and aspire to make the same thing. That's not the right thing to do. That's not how it's done. So when it came down to my own short film, I made the mistake of making it too high concept. In my crime short film, I don't know if you guys saw, but in the thumbnail it says episode 1. And the reason for it is because I wanted to make it like a whole show and make it like multiple episodes, and I just did too much. I knew I couldn't handle that. I was like a beginner, a filmmaking beginner back then, and so I made it so I only did episode 1. It's unresolved, and that same thing has been the case with other short films that I have. There's another one, it's called like Star Wars or something. It's supposed to be like in space with Markiplier inspired film, and it was supposed to be the one where you choose your own path, adventure type of thing. And I made it all green screen. I could link it. That's the thing. Sure, I think I might upload it this week. We'll see. But the thing is, it's all like green screened. There are like all sorts of crazy effects and everything. So I made it too high concept as well. I didn't end up finishing it. By adding too much, I made it so I couldn't handle what I was adding. I don't have the skills, I don't have the resources to do these type of films. But I grew up watching these type of films. It made it so I thought that maybe I could do one as well, where that's not the case. In reality, what I'm doing right here is what I can handle. Me sitting down, recording, looking at the camera, this is what I can handle. And I've been learning so much in film school, especially this semester, about how you can capture the attention of audiences simply through your acting, simply through your stories, and nothing else. The effects and everything else, the edits and stuff, that comes after. What I'm doing right here, right now, is what actually captures audiences. And so you can see also like other content creators. I know I've made this example in my previous videos, but you can see this in other content creators, how like Mr. Beast has like all these high edits, how Mr. Beast has all these high edits and constant action. You don't really get to know Jimmy as a person. You don't really get to know how he is, because like if you do, you'll notice that he's a bad person, but that's a topic for a different day. You also see, however, other content creators who just talk to the camera and that's it. They get millions of views just talking to a camera. There's a difference between those type of content creators. One that just looks at a camera and one that adds high effects, special effects, and just constant action. There's a difference. And you can't say that the high effects and constant action are only just for kids, because there's some movies out there who doesn't have as much effects and constant action and still manage to entertain kids. But pretty much what I'm trying to get at is don't make your films too high concept, because if you do, either there's several things that can happen. You cannot finish it. It's gonna take a really long time. It's gonna take money, which is surprisingly enough. It's gonna take money because you need food, you need like resources to make it. It also is not going to be as good as you want it to be, because you don't have the resources nor the skill to make it as good as you want it to be. This could be if you're doing it by yourself. Even if you're doing it with another person, making a high concept still not going to be beneficial. Like you might think that since you got another person that can help you out, then it's going to be easier. It's not. It's actually going to be much more harder, because they might want to add something. They might have their own ideas that they want to incorporate into the film. And the thing is, it could also be high concept, and it could also be complicated. It could be creative, sure, but it's gonna make it so it takes a long time for the film to finish. So keep your idea short and focused. If you're at least gonna try to make a high concept film, and if you're gonna be filming by yourself, it is especially the case to keep your ideas short and grounded. And making your short film grounded and not really that high concept, just like one person doing like a certain task or just talking to someone, for that can be boring for most people. If you do this over and over and over, and you become like a master in the production process, and just like filmmaking in general, then eventually eventually that conversation that you filmed is gonna be great. You're gonna be able to entertain audiences just through simply a conversation. Why do you think like Breaking Bad clips get so many views? Because it's good. It's good acting. It's good story, good entertainment, and you don't see high concept like effects. It's like Breaking Bad. To be like, if you really think about it, Breaking Bad is like, okay, never mind. I was gonna say like it started grounded, but then it becomes more high concept as it went on. But still, in the first seasons at least, it was still like entertaining, even though it was like the story was grounded. But in the meantime, though, since you're not gonna be able to make the high concept film that you always dreamed about, I think what you should do instead is just like write it down, keep it in notes, because right now you're not gonna be able to make it, but one day you might be able to make it, and you're gonna be able to make it with the skills that you've developed through story, which would be the best part. The best thing about filmmaking is not just making something crazy, something like really high concept, something that people are gonna see like, oh, those are some really good visual effects. What people are gonna remember are the stories that you tell. You can still be creative, of course, but prioritize story. Alright, so let's talk about actual filming. I'm gonna share my experience filming by myself and making a high concept. First of all, if you're filming by yourself, you're gonna be the actor, so expect yourself to act. Second of all, you're gonna have limited locations. Most likely your house is gonna be the best options. You can also film outside, it's up to you. And you're also gonna have to play multiple characters in your story if you wanna add multiple characters. And then when it comes to equipment, all you need is your phone. What I used to make my films, I used like a GoPro. I should have just used my phone. It's much more easier. But yeah. But I would say just record through your phone because like it's easier to record, and what's more important is the actual recording itself, not the quality of your GoPro. We're not at a level where we wanna like impress others. The reason why we're doing this is because we wanna get the reps in. We wanna work out every day. That way we can get stronger, pretty much, to develop the skill of filmmaking. So an example of someone who made their first film too big has to be Gavin, the guy that made Spider-Man Lotus. I'll be honest, I didn't watch Spider-Man Lotus. I just watched Cosmonauts Variety Hour video on it. But from what I can tell, and I did do a little bit of research on Gavin as well, apparently Spider-Man Lotus is his first film, which is crazy because like it's like 3 hours or 2 hours long. So already I think it's too ambitious. I've also seen like some of the effects. They look pretty good, but this is what I mean. You can check the film out. I don't know if it's on YouTube. You can look it up, but just if you can't find it on YouTube, just watch Cosmonaut's video on it. But since Gavin didn't have a chance, like didn't have that much experience, he never got a chance to fail at a film. The only chance that he got in failing a film was through this one, which was a feature film. And you don't want your first film to be a feature film because like it's kind of like hard to get a feature film anyway. Like it's unrealistic that you're gonna start making a feature film. I mean, you could of course, but I feel like it would be better if you make short films because those are gonna get done faster and you're gonna be able to receive feedback from them faster. Remember, it's not about the fact that you can make a long film, it's about that you can tell a story. And if you can tell a story in a short amount of time that still is impactful to people, then you might as well do that first. That's why I preach so much about short films, because they really are helpful. It's like you can't make your dream film right away. You can't. Like if you were given the resources, if you were given like $1 million and the perfect crew, you'll fuck it up. You'll fuck up your dream film because you first have to become the person who can make that film. You can't just show up and make your dream film. You can't just be the best like director, actor, screenwriter. You can't just show up and be like that. You become that person through time, dedication, and effort. So, and it also comes from failing. The only way to go is by failing and learning from your mistakes. And you have to learn to be comfortable with your failures. You're gonna fail. Some people might make fun of you, but that's alright because at least you learn from that mistake. So with that, thank you for watching this video. If you like, then be sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new or if you like my channel. And always remember to live your life like there's no tomorrow.